Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And today we're taking a look at from the Transformers Earthspark line. This is Deluxe class Optimus Prime. Now we've already taken a look at the Warrior class figure, which had a weapon gimmick of having a battle axe built in. Um, but now we're taking a look at the deluxe version. Now, I got this figure from Hasbro Pulse, and as of right now, that's the only place I know that has it in stock. It also has its um, second wave mate of Shockwave, which is a repaint of the Cyberverse Deluxe Shockwave. Now, both figures come with build-a-figure pieces for Dr. Mandroid. Optimus Prime comes with a leg, and spoilers, there's no knee joints. So I think this final figure is going to be more of a figurine than an actual figure, but I do appreciate the interchangeable limbs. Um, right off the bat, let me just say that apparently this figure is a heavy, heavy retool of Deluxe Class Optimus Prime from the Cyberverse line. Now, unfortunately, I do not have that figure handy for a comparison. That's basically like a 5, 6 year old figure. It's packed away and has been for quite some time. And if you remember, why I initially liked the figure in the review, when I went ahead and did the off-the-shelf update, the ball joint had loosened up so significantly that the figure was barely able to stand. Um, Now, I do believe with that figure, it was more of a flat-nosed truck. Here we have a very stylized um, elongated cab. That was, I think, called cab over engine. This is basically just a standard Peterbilt style. This is the movie style Optimus Prime for the most part, with that elongated cab. I should say elongated hood, where the engine would be here instead over the cab. Now, it does, yes, and by the way, I'm pretty sure this is how the vehicle mode is supposed to look. So if it looks a little swooshy, I think that fits with the animation style. And if that's the case, then I got to tip my hat to Hasbro to being able to pull that off. I mean, everything rolls quite nicely. You do actually have weapon storage in vehicle mode, and with the Ion Blaster here, that is actually integral to the transformation, which we'll get to in just a second, and you have his battle axe stored underneath here. So, I guess that's about it for the intro. We will pause and come back with the transformation. Okay, I'm going to do vehicle to robot, but I will point out certain bits that you should know when going from robot to vehicle, just to make your life a little bit easier. The first thing you want to do is go ahead and remove the axe from underneath the truck mode right here. And then next we're going to come up to the front and basically do the classic Optimus Prime transformation. Now, the way that the arms are secured in vehicle mode is that there's a tab on the inside of the forearm panel that pegs into the slot on the hip. So the first thing you want to do is loosen that up, and then you're going to pull back. And the reason you're pulling back is there's a slot right over that wheel well. You're not tucking it in to that section there. You're going right into that slot, and there's a tab right there on the forearm guard that it has to slide into. And that can be a little tricky sometimes, and you might loosen up the front hood section there. But just getting it in, just like that, and then pushing it in. But we're going to do that, and of course, the classic Optimus Prime arm transformation, which I appreciate that with all these more recent animated lines, they have gone ahead and figured out a way to keep that bit in. Go ahead, straighten out the arms, and bring them forward just to make your life a little easy. Turn the vehicle over, flip the feet out. You do have some pegs there. I initially thought that was for weapon storage in robot mode. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But no, I guess it's just there if you want to use some weaponizers or something. And then what you want to do is lift this leg up and unpeg it from the ankle section, and then you're going to separate the legs. The legs tab into, let me show you on the ion cannon, right there where my finger is, that slot. So basically, if you lose the ion cannon, you'll still be able to secure the legs, but it won't be as nice. And basically, as you just saw, the ion cannon pegs here into the back. You have a post here for the grip, and there's a little tab on the stock that just fits right in. So you're going to want to angle the leg up, bending the knee, and that's how you get it in. But we're going back, so once you remove the legs, you can remove the ion cannon. And something the instructions aren't very good at showing, wow, what a surprise, is that you don't, when you're going from robot to vehicle, you don't want to just rotate the legs at the hip. The whole pelvis section actually flips forward. And I actually would not have noticed that if it wasn't for the fact that this section wasn't secured in robot mode when I was taking the figure out of the packaging. Basically now we're going to grab that whole section, bring it down, and then you're going to push it until it snaps into place. Now, again, when going from robot to vehicle, they actually tell you to put the ion cannon in first. I would not do that just because you need the space to get the leverage in there to pull and to separate that joint. That is very tight, so just, again, get it in there, push it in, and yeah, I do feel that the swivels here and the ball joints, a little bit on the loose side, and obviously when something's loose, it's only going to get looser over time. So the next step, what you want to do is, I guess you want to come around to the front here, and the hood actually tabs in to the front windshield. But we're going to untab it, swing it around like that, so you can then rotate everything around on that waist joint, and thus revealing the, stylized grill for robot mode and what have you. Go ahead, I guess while the arms are up here, you can go ahead and flip the fists out. They have you flip the fists in and out later on in the steps, but you can do it whenever. And we're just about done, so you want to bring this section up and then flip up this little panel here, fold it all the way back. That will actually tab, using the tab that you were using for vehicle mode. Now you'll just tab it in, and that'll hold the front of the truck in place. And now we're going to flip up Optimus Prime's head. Just pull back on that tab a little. And by the way, this is what happened to me. If you have a problem getting the head up, that probably means the head has rocked forward on the ball joint. You want to make sure that the head is sitting back so you don't see the hole for the ball joint. Bring that whole section up, and that will friction into place. You'll feel a snap rather than hear it. Bring the head down on the neck joint and rotate it around. I almost missed that because, the instructions show you doing that whole thing as one step, that you rotate and bring it back. But this is how the head should look when going into vehicle mode and bringing that panel down. If it's up like this, the panel will go down, but you'll have a hard time getting the head out. So, presto changeo, there's Optimus Prime in its robot mode. Very nice figure, really digging it. A little bit more of the backpack than what I remember on the original Cyberverse toy. Don't worry, I will have a little link to the original video in the description below. But overall, this feels a lot more solid. We're not getting a blast effect. I guess that's being replaced by the axe and the Build-A-Figure piece. In terms of articulation, as you saw, the head's on a ball joint, the shoulders are on ball joints, you have a swivel bend, over 90-degree bend here at the elbow, wrists, hands are on ball joints, so you have that, ball joint hips, swivel, deep knee bend, and you do have a little bit of ankle articulation. I don't remember if the original Cyberverse Prime had the ankle articulation. And of course, well, actually now the waist joint is locked, but what are you going to do? Is it? Yeah. It's better to have it locked than to have that whole back section swinging around. Now, the instructions show you to put the ion rifle in the left hand and the axe in the right hand, and he holds the weapons quite nicely. You can get some nice action poses out of it. There you go. And you see that already some of the joints are starting to get a little floppy, if you will. Make sure I get everything flat there. So yeah. Now, why would I make a point out of saying which hand goes the weapons go in? Well, here's the thing, and I was trying to figure this out while when I saw it. But if you come around the back here, there's a slot right there on the back, and this is basically to hold the ion rifle. And what you do is there's a right there on the back. There's this little opened slotted section that the gun will peg into, just like so. You then can take the axe, and if you notice, the axe has a closed section, so there's only one way it can work. And on the other side, the axe will peg in just like so. Now you can do it with the handle, with the grip of the ion rifle facing down, but if you turn it over, um, you know, which I think might be the actual proper way of doing it, it sits a little bit better. And again, with the axe facing like so. That's the weapon storage. You unfortunately can't have the axe handle going this way because it's closed off. And again, you can't have the barrel of the grip of the iron rifle going towards the right arm because how that tab is molded, that is closed off. So it's really only going to work this way. Whoop, sorry, with the grip up or the grip down. I initially thought that maybe it pegs into the back of the leg, but that basically nerfs the leg articulation. So you do have some great options there for the weapon storage. And again, not mentioned in the instructions, which kind of annoys me, but that's the kind of stuff. You remember our old RID reviews. Part of the fun was figuring out the weapon storage. And, I was really one of the only ones who could figure that out, but glad I was able to bring this to you now. Overall, I think it's a fun figure. This is our first deluxe figure, as you've probably noticed. Um, the reason being is I missed out on the first wave of reviews for those first wave deluxes, so I've been just waiting for a sale to pick them up. But I got to be honest, looking at what Mandroid is, I'm not sure if I'm going to be that interested in grabbing them, especially considering how much I'm enjoying Warrior Class Megatron. I think it's much better than Deluxe Class Megatron. So I have to see what's going to come in that line if we're going to get Bumblebee, probably, and Twitch, maybe. But yeah, Optimus Prime, a great looking figure. And, just real quick, let's take a look. There's that newfangled Autobot logo there on the shoulder. I really don't know what that's all about yet. Like I said, I've only really seen the first 2 episodes, which was that special. And I haven't felt that pushed to go ahead and check out the rest of the series. So we will pause and we'll come back with my final thoughts. In a world of Optimus Primes, you really do have a lot of options to choose from. Now, funny enough, I had just started messing around with War for Cybertron Voyager Optimus Prime, and when this figure showed up, and it's a very stark contrast between the two, just in terms of design and style. So you really do have a lot of options when it comes to uh, Optimus Prime figures at different scales, different price points. As a deluxe Optimus Prime, which, to be honest, we really only get in the quote unquote kid friendly lines, the animated lines and what have you. And I kind of like that because I like seeing how they can pull off an Optimus Prime at that smaller size. And I gotta say, I think here with Earthspark, they did it very well. Now, is this going to be for everybody? No. And if you have the Warrior version of Optimus Prime, You need to ask yourself, is it worth picking the figure up just to get the ion blaster and a little more involved transformation? Oh, and the Mandroid piece. If you're not into Mandroid, I really don't know if I can recommend, if I would push this over uh, the Warrior figure. I'm not going to say recommend because both are equally good but they also do things differently. So there's that as well. Um, as I said from the beginning, I got this figure from Hasbro Pulse. That is the only place that they have it in stock. It wasn't even like it was up for pre-order. It just showed up in stock. Amazon, Big Bad, as far as I know, they don't have this listed yet. So there's that. And I also don't know if it's, I haven't heard if it's really even shown up at retail. So there's that as well. But as Optimus Prime figures go, I would put this in the positive category. But that's about it for the review. If you like this review, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. While I'll always appreciate the views, the likes, comments, and subscriptions help to communicate to YouTube through their algorithms that my channel should be exalted and held upon high. If you want to make the ultimate sign of support, I do have a Patreon. It is www.patreon.com/ChuckDog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. No thrills, no tiers, no special rewards. All you're doing is helping me help you to help me help you bring figures like this to you, as well as keeping up the infrastructure of the channel. But as I always say, if you can't afford the $1 a month or $12 a year, your views are more than thanks enough. Patreon is just a cherry on top of an already generous sundae. Um, that's about it for the review. This is your old pal Chuck for Earthspark Deluxe Class Optimus Prime. We will see you next time.